What's going on, good people? You already know what time it is, man. This is your boy, the historian, getting ready to get this thing kicked off. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button for us so we can go ahead and get the show started and continue to keep bringing you the news that we bring you and the information that we bring you. So sit back, relax, and we got you covered. This is the Birdcage. Let's get it, fellas.
Okay, y'all, this is it.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We definitely appreciate you for coming through. This is the Birdcage. I'm the historian. I'm going to go ahead and bring the crew in here because we got a lot of things that we're going to cover tonight. We got K-Dub in the building. We got Coach Cam in the building. And I also got to bring in Graybeard, but he's actually handling something real quick, but he'll be coming in momentarily. What's going on, gentlemen?
What's going on, all my Birdcage family and listening subscribers out there? If you haven't, you gotta go ahead and subscribe and push that like button and share button and tell a friend to tell a friend. If you just stumbled upon this page about Bird Talk Football, this is the plot. This is the spot to be. I know there's other places and other forums out there, but the Birdcage is running high. So let's go ahead and get in tune. If you need to get some rewatches, catch some of those great interviews that we have in our past in our archives, go ahead and do that. Go ahead, historian and Coach Cam. Good to be in the building today.
Most definitely. Hey, man, we got our guy C Double in the crowd tonight. What's going on? Shout out to those folks over there. Had to stop by last night, get them a shout. They definitely show love, and we appreciate you guys coming through. That's my guy, the Angry Puerto Rican, as he calls himself. So, got to show some love for my partner right there. And his
All
boy,
right.
John, the Cricket Deacon, is over there with C Double, and they do their thing over on the eye test, man. They definitely do it up, and they got some stuff. Last but not least, we got the Salt and Pepper Man, Mr. Graybeard. What's up, baby?
What's going on with y'all, man? Falcon Nation, what's going on with y'all? Welcome to
What
the
it is, what
Birdcage,
it
man.
do, man.
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for the premium ATL content. Coach Cam, I see you wearing the UGA all day. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, man. A lot
Gotta
of big,
love it, G.
lot of big news came out today, man. A lot of stuff happened on the collegiate side and on the pro side, man. I can't wait,
Yeah,
man. Let's get to it.
Hey, man,
already.
Hawks won last night, so I had to wear a little something. I had to break out the old school Lou Williams joint right here, as you can see. So we getting it cracking today. So it's an all Atlanta sports booth right now. Everybody in here love Atlanta, everything except Georgia Tech. So let's go
Wreck,
ahead and get
Yeah,
this thing
man,
started, fellas.
man, wreck
yeah.
the tech, man.
Tech ain't get no, Tech
Tuck
ain't get no
Feck.
love today. Not
Hold on, how they
today.
say it? Wait a minute, how the Irk Russell used to say it? Tuck Feck. but we can't say what we really want to say on camera because
No,
you know we got kids and everything. But
no.
let's get to it, man. The first thing we're gonna talk about today, and before we get to the juicy stuff, Calvin Ridley helps the Falcons get a third round pick with his play. Wish it could have been a second round pick, but hey, with the incentives in the contract, I'll take an extra third round pick. How do you guys feel like he stepped away from the Falcons and ended up pretty much putting the Falcons literally still in a good position to get a good player?
I just feel like it's a win-win for both situations, for both organizations. They got a good player in the deal. We got a chance to move off from somebody that was basically disloyal to the organization here, and we get a great pick in the process and going to get in the second round for it. Somebody that can help our future going forward and get us back to prominence. But I feel like it was a win-win for both sides in the long run. But I don't know how the rest of the people on the panel feel. I'll get you guys' take on it.
I don't think it was much him being disloyal. I just don't think Calvin really fit the culture of Atlanta. So for me, man, I do agree it was a win-win for both sides or whatever. I mean, he got a fresh start in Jacksonville. He pretty much grew up in Florida, so he's a little bit closer to home. So I just think, man, he just needed a fresh start, man. I'm just glad his headspace is in the right place. He's back on the field. He's playing football, something that he always wanted to do or whatnot. But I do agree with you, K Dub. I think it's a win-win for us. It could cure us a third round pick. You know, we don't know what we can do with that. We can either draft a player or we can use that pick to move up somewhere in the second or the first round to get a player. So
So great bid. Wait a minute. Now you say he was disloyal. Now here's the
I
thing.
didn't say that.
No, I'm
I
saying,
said,
but I mean,
I
it
said he
came
was
out
just low
when you were on your soapbox. It slipped out when you said kind of not fitting the culture. But here's the thing: you got a kid that's from South Florida, from the bottom, and literally it's just like a lot of the kids that's around Atlanta, just different lingo. And you talk about, he grew up gambling. You look at a lot of the kids that come up through Atlanta that live the fast life, they gamble, and we know many of them. Just being real, K Dub know a few. I know some, and
Right.
I mean that was just part of it. Unfortunately, he did it at a professional level when it wasn't, when it's not legal,
He
and he
didn't
gambled
have
on his
to.
own sport.
He
So
didn't
all I'm
have to.
saying is,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, K Dub. That was you that said this, Lord. My bad.
Oh yeah, he was disloyal
But here's the thing, though: how can you be disloyal and you got a team that's pretty much doing you dirty when you're also hurt? He was hurt, and he also had some other issues too that literally kind of got pushed to the side, but they made him look like a villain. So that's what I'm saying. How was that disloyal? I really want to hear it.
because it's not in the bylaws of your contract to be doing it. So I feel like you cheating on the team. Everybody else ain't gambling. They ain't
Mm,
catching two, three other people gambling. It wasn't like it was a gambling ring, like it caught you, somebody else, and somebody else. It was just you was on a solo mission. You was being selfish. Put it in your payers.
true. I was gonna
So
say,
that's what,
hey, but at least you got an explanation with that. But here's the thing, though: how many other players are gambling? Because there's plenty of them that's gambling on it.
Right.
Let's just keep
Right.
that. Let's keep that a buck. Because right after he got in trouble, remember it was four guys from the New England. I'm sorry, not New England Colts. I'm there. I'm
New York
tongue
Jet.
twisted
I
because I'm
mean New
thinking
York
about Belichick.
Giants.
From the Indianapolis Colts who got caught up in that mess, and a couple of players from the Giants that got caught up in that mess. So he just happened to be the poster child for that. But it's a ton of guys this thing got caught gambling at that time, bro.
Yeah, really was the first one to
Oh, come. I was
Yeah.
about to say, man, don't blank out on us now.
No, don't do that, man. Don't do that again.
Go ahead, Cam. Oh, we can't hear you, Cam. Well, while we're waiting on Cam or whatnot, he's definitely gonna cook. But I get where you're coming from on the business side of it, K Dub. When you speak on, yeah, it's in your contract, it's in the clause, you're not supposed to do it, but you do it anyway. I understand that. But hey, rules
that's
are
like
rules while they're in place.
yeah, but I'm just
So
saying, like, back in the past, how some of these guys have been out jet skiing and riding motorcycles, they get hurt, and their boys kind of their contract.
yeah,
I mean, I'm not, it's just like what he said. He was gambling, but why are you gambling, man? You make millions of dollars. It's like, come on now, really?
All
I
right,
mean, it's
so back
many
to
it's many other guys that make millions of dollars and they go to Vegas and shoot craps and they gamble their money away. So it's not just him. It's a ton of athletes that love to gamble and waste money. But hey, that's like they say, it's an addiction, just like everything else. But at the time, hey, it is what it is. But he did get us a 3rd round pick, so I can't be mad. But what you got, Coach Cam?
But you really can't call him disloyal because when you have a team as bad as Atlanta was, he was still betting on the Falcons. He wasn't betting against them. So, when you're betting on your team, even though you're still there, I wouldn't call it disloyal. I would just say that it was his immaturity. Because when you have that much time on your hands from being hurt and then going through depression, because he was going through some things at that time. I'm not going to say he was disloyal because he was still there and he was still there with his guys. He was still staying in contact with certain players. But if you look at it, he pretty much was the Pete Rose of the NFL because he was the first person that this happened to during the season while it was going on. So if you look at other sports, LeBron, he goes to Vegas at least once a month and has a whole private room just to gamble. So it's not like he's the only one doing it during the season or whatever the case is. He was the first person caught betting on his team during the season. Now I can see if he was, betting against Atlanta or whatever the case was, but he wasn't. I just feel like he was a little bit immature, and one thing that I believe all of us can agree on at that time, we didn't have no leaders in our locker room to kind of go against that, to kind of keep him on the straight and narrow. Because again, when you're in a funk like that, and I'm someone who's dealt with depression, you do things to try to keep yourself sane. You go back to the things that remind you of home because you want to get as close away from that funk that you're in. So what's the first thing that you're going to do is try to find the one thing that brings you happiness. And that's either things from your childhood, things that you did with your friends, or whatever the case is. So I'll point more so to the immaturity and the lack of leadership in the locker room, more so than him being disloyal.
I agree.
But with that 3rd pick, it does help. And again, it's not against the rules because the league is sponsored by so many betting organizations. Where does it say that the players can't bet? So, I mean, it's a great area. Honestly, it's a really, really great area, and it's a fine line. But again, like when you have so many sponsors that are betting organizations like BetMGM and Sportsbook and all these other ones, FanDuel, I mean, how can you tell the players not to bet when that's pretty much the culture of the NFL right now? So, again, it's just a lack of leadership and his immaturity because, again, really is only, 24, 25 years old. So I'm not going to call him a kid. But, again, like when you have that kind of money and you coming out the mud, these are things that are commonplace. Because I have family right now still in Atlanta that have, some that got Mike Vick in trouble. And they're proponents of it. So it's not too far-fetched to say that that's just who he is and that's in his blood because it's what he grew up around.
No, I'm not jeopardizing or saying anything about his upbringing, but I just stand pat to say you put us put us in a bad pickle, put us in a bad predicament, being immature. Being immature or whatever the case may be, you're the face of the wide receiving core at the time. So it's just like, I mean, everybody can forgive and forget. But I'm just saying how I feel about it. That's my opinion. But I feel like the pick, at least we get the pick to where we can go draft a receiver or replace you in a sense. But I just feel like it was a win-win. I mean, he's better. He's happier off back in the state of Florida. And we'll move on with this new regime, this new head coach that we're searching for. So,
well, if they do re-sign him, it's going to be a 2nd, but so far it's secured a 3rd. So that's pretty much what it is for right now. We don't know what's what, but again, hey, congrats to Calvin Ridley for finding a second life in Jacksonville. Continue to do your thing, young man. Hey, we support you, man. All of us have done dumb things in our lives. It's cost us. a lot. Some of us has cost us a lot. Some of us has cost us a little bit. But at the end of the day, hey, it is what it is, man. People make mistakes all day. We're not gonna judge him. We just pretty much talking about what pretty much went down, why he left. Everybody knows. But hey, that right there kind of turned into a blessing in disguise for the Falcons coming up for this draft, and we have draft capital to actually bring in some more players. So thank you, Calvin Ridley. Mr. Slide Red, as we would say.
Slide.
But getting back to it, man. Speaking of familiarity, let's talk about this trash ass quarterback who decided to throw a little bit of spice onto the rivalry between the Falcons and the Saints. Talking about that bum, Mr. Crab Legs himself, Mr. Jameis Winston. Pretty much, if you saw the interview or you saw the tweet, you know, Jimmy Graham backed him, but you know that pretty much shows.
Jimmy Graham.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. I really believe he might be on the. I mean, and we talk mental health. Maybe he might be a person that might have some issues, because think about it, he had issues at Florida State, and we're not just talking about, you know, crab legs. Think about it. He was suspended while he was at Florida State and tried to get onto the field, and Jimbo
a couple
Fisher
of times
took your ass to the locker room. And he was dressed up. If you remember that, I got Florida State fans in here, and you guys remember that. But Jimbo had to send him to the locker room because he was suspended for a game or two. But he's had an issue with authority. Now, when you have your head coach,
it wasn't just football,
it
was baseball
formation, and you go against that. I mean, like literally, game's over with. I get y'all hate the Falcons. It's a rivalry. We hate y'all too. But it comes a point where you're gonna disrespect your boss like that. Okay, you might not be around next year doing stupid stuff like that. So I want to hear you guys' take on this. Outside of us hating the Saints, let's just talk about it from a standpoint of individuals who really you just go against the grain with your boss. That was just stupid.
Well, for me, first and foremost, the tank. I will always commit that from the bottom of my heart. Y'all can kick each and every lack of my behind. But secondly, man, I just think Jameis Winston probably a little power the way Georgia beat the break on Florida State in the bowl that should have never happened. So that's probably the reason why he took his frustration out on us. Think he gonna get throw a little dirt in our wound, down 41-17. But bottom line is, because anybody watched the nightcap with Shannon Sharp and Ocho, he pretty much went in, because he's talking about it seems like the head coach doesn't have control of the football team. Especially if the head coach told y'all, hey, take a knee, let's take it in, and then call it a day. And you want to be like, well, we just want to give a guy a touchdown. He can't. Well, you had 3 quarters to do that. That wasn't the first time y'all were first and goal. That wasn't the first time y'all within the 5-yard line. Y'all could have been handing that man the rock to get him in first touchdown. Why y'all going to wait all the way to the end of the game where there's 1 second left to give this man a touchdown? And then on top of that, y'all was in the victory formation, and you already knew pretty much, man, Falcon player was already on testing their stuff. They getting ready to go in.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't even blocking. And then y'all want to go ahead and just throw it in like that. So, yeah, it's cool, though. All I know is karma is a mug. What goes around, comes around. For all you Saint fans over there talking about Falcons and whatnot, what goes around, comes around. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear nothing next year.
Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Guess what? It's going to be some teeth missing in New Orleans when we come back, and it's going to be some eyes watering when we put our foot in their ass. Hey, Doug, what you got?
If this don't energize our fan base for this rivalry, I don't know what will.
Exactly.
Yeah, but just to touch on about what Great Beard was saying, just piggyback off of that. It's Jameis Winston, man. Jameis Winston, man. I mean, he been up to that no good slide, doing something sneaky, doing something he ain't supposed to be doing, type of stuff. So I mean, it's in his character to get out of character. So like he was saying, what goes around comes around. Like I said, all I can say is watch out, man. I feel like we got something good coming. We got to just continue to do our homework and find the right coach to lead us to the promised land,
man. Cam, what you got? You currently coaching high school kids right now, and you out there in Arizona doing your thing, and you haven't encountered it yet. But I'm sure you're gonna find out about that one day.
I hope
No,
not.
honestly, being a coach, I did it this year. I'm not gonna sit here and beat around the bush. I did it this year
In
to our
victory
rival.
formation,
It wasn't victory formation, but I for sure ran up the score on purpose because I
well,
wanted
the
I
score
wanted
ain't the
them to
problem.
know.
If we can't stop them, guess what? They did what they were supposed to do. But I'm
You know what I'm
talking
saying?
about in victory formation when your
Yeah,
coach
like
tells you just
I
take a
didn't
knee.
I didn't like that they scored out of the victory formation. But here's my thing: like honestly, like it's a rivalry game. I didn't really see it. Like y'all might not like what I'm going to say, but looking at Jameis Winston, he's been a consummate professional everywhere he's been. And when you look at it, when you have that many people standing up for you, coming out of the woodworks to defend you on everything that was said, like if you have team camaraderie, because everyone already said it, Dennis Allen lost control of that locker room. Nobody was listening to Dennis Allen. No one cares what that man has to say.
True.
So when your teammates are saying, "Hey, let's get this man a $300,000 bonus for scoring a touchdown," we're gonna do that. So they went to the coach first. They did it respectfully. He told them no, and they said, "Well, we're gonna do it anyway because this is our brother. Then we gonna make sure that you get paid." Um, I don't really have an issue with it. I don't because one, it's a rivalry. Number two, this should wake our players up and put the fire under their behind because when we came in the game, it was very lackluster anyway. And it's been lackluster for the last couple of years because it's been one-sided. The Saints have pretty much beat us from pillar to post. This should be the wake-up call for the organization and the players in the organization to say, hey, the next time we see them, it ain't going to be easy. It's going to be a very, very long day. They come to Atlanta, the fans need to be on fire, make it extremely hostile. It should never be comfortable for the rival to come to your home the way that it was when they came here to Atlanta. So I respect what Jameis did. I I don't agree with how he did it because when you're in a position, you're a backup. You're not guaranteed a position anywhere, especially in the league that in this year was ran by backup quarterbacks. Jameis Winston is the first player to go 40 for 40 in the season. So your track record speaks for you. So we
40 for
know that
40.
you're not,
You're
and we know you're not an accurate quarterback. We know you're gonna turn over the ball. So I mean, you really put yourself in a real bad position unless you find a coach that's player friendly and looks for a locker room leader because that's Jameis will be that guy for any team.
Mm.
But if you're looking to make a team as a player, nah, because a coach is gonna look at you and say, "Hey, you already bucked the system with one guy. You're not gonna do it with me."
Well, that
So,
has to be set. But Cam, but you understand this from coming through that door. It's like anything else. Precedence has to be set from day one.
oh yeah,
So you know what the expectations are. You pretty much lay out the expectations. You lay out not just the expectations, you lay out the goals, and you pretty much lay out what we're going to do to get to that. Now, if you can't abide by that, hey, you got to find another ball club to play for. But enough
Mm-hmm.
about talking about these old trash bagheads. I had to kind of talk about that a little bit because it's been a hot topic. And hey, man, if he doesn't get cut, it is what it is. But hey, all I say is we should have been better prepared that day. They put their foot in our ass, aka between our hip pockets. And hey,
I hope he
you
don't
got a
get cut.
whole off season to think about that, and you
I
got to
hope he
come
don't.
back.
I hope he stays on the team. I hope he stays.
mhm,
I
Yeah,
hope
they're
he
gonna put
stays.
him on the team because he's entertainment. He brings value to their fledgling organization right now.
absolutely.
Yeah, man.
So getting back to it, speaking about entertaining, so far in the offseason, the Falcons have been very entertaining with looking for quarterbacks. Everybody got that Birdman hand rub today. I gotta lean my head to the side for you one time. But I'm just saying.
Come here, playboy.
So before we
uh,
get to the big fish, we're gonna talk about some of the little fish that the Falcons have actually looked at and have tried to pretty much have set up um future interviews that they're gonna have. Because right now they really can't talk to too many people unless their season is over with. That's the only way they can talk to them. But if some of the coaches are in the playoffs at this time, they can't talk to him until after the divisional round. So a few coaches that the Falcons have on the radar. You got defensive line coach for the Baltimore Ravens, Anthony Weaver. You got Lions defensive coordinator and former cornerback / safety, Mr. Aaron Glenn. Then you also have Mr. Steve Wilkes that they've looked at. They pretty much put Jim Caldwell in that sense. Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator for Detroit. I've even heard Chuck Smith's names mentioned once, and that was on social media, but I don't think it was from the big fish, but it was, somebody that was just kind of, I guess, trying to throw him a bone. But, you look at some of the names of these coaches that have come through here, like Jim Caldwell already has a Super Bowl ring from being an offensive coordinator, and he also led the Colts to a Super Bowl. Peyton Manning cost him that one against the Bagheads, unfortunately. But Jim Caldwell has a Super Bowl pedigree. Raheem Morris now has a Super Bowl pedigree. They even reached out to him. If I'm Raheem Morris, I'm not even trying to entertain it because of how the Falcons did him. That's a spit in the face.
Fact.
Just being honest, that's a spit in the face. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I feel like that's a spit in the face to Morris. And outside of those few coaches that I've named, I talked about Lovie Smith being somebody who's a leader of men that led a team to a Super Bowl, has a pedigree in the league, and is well respected and understands how to lead men. So with that being said, let's talk about some of these candidates. You guys talk about some of the candidates that you've thought about, because I know we all talked about this in the chat. So what do y'all have? I'm gonna let K Dub start this one off, and it's gonna go to Coach Cam, and then it's gonna go to Graybeard.
Well, I'm a proponent of bringing in a African American head coach because we haven't done that yet. So all of those candidates, that's the ones I'm looking at, intensely and closely, because we've done the other approach numerous times to no avail. So I just feel like I think that city is time for the city to have that, because we haven't had that and seen that in the city of Atlanta yet. Have a black head coach to lead this franchise. So I think that's the route we need to go. Either Aaron Glenn or Lovie Smith, or some of the other candidates that we have out there that are African American descent, and that's who I'm rooting for. Just my opinion, myself. It's not the Birdcage's opinion. It's just K Dub's opinion. But moving on, I don't know what you guys' opinion is of it. I think we need to stay away from these old geezers and get some
Wow.
Hey,
stick.
just make sure you got some tapioca pudding and applesauce and prune juice on the side if you bring one.
I mean, I understand we want experienced head coaches, but we don't.
You
We need
can
to
get
stay
an
away from that.
experienced head coach that's not old.
That's what I'm saying. We need to stay away from the retirement home or assisted living homes. So, but yeah, but this be. I just want that's just what I. That's why I don't want to. I don't want to just single out one coach or two coaches. So because I want to look at a plethora. I want us to do our homework and really cross our T's and dot our I's, man, and really do our due diligence and bringing in the right guy for the mission going forward. But other than that, I'll pass it on to the next person. Let's
Right.
go.
Cam, and then there's Graybeard.
So honestly, the two people that I'm the happiest about hearing about is the DC from the Ravens and Steve Wilkes. These are two people that I'm highly like on the top of my list. Um, and I'm with you, Ryan. When it comes to Raheem, I mean, he pulled an Antonio Pierce before Antonio Pierce did with the Raiders this year. He
Mm-hmm.
had those guys revved up and ready to play every single game from the time he was made the interim. And if I'm correct, we were a game out from making the playoffs. If I'm correct, I'm not exactly
Yep.
sure,
Same
but I believe we
situation that
were.
happened in Carolina with Steve Wilkes last year. Same exact situation. But we're
Okay,
gonna
so we
touch on
were a
that a little
game from
later. But
making the
keep going.
playoffs. As him with him being the interim. If I'm Raheem, I'm not even picking up the phone. It's going straight to voicemail. Um, but honestly, like I'm not a fan of saying we should have either a black or a white coach. My whole thing is I want a coach who has the ability to hold people accountable. if you're able to control your locker room and the players that are on the field in a way that you would hold yourself accountable, that's what I would want from a head coach, OC, DC, whoever we decide to bring in. Because we had none of that this year. If you look at Arthur Smith, there was no accountability. When he messed up, he put it on everybody else. I want a head coach that's going to come in and say, hey, I made a bad call or I made a bad read or whatever the case is. Take the accountability. Let your players know that you're in the trenches with them. And that's why, I feel like the head coach for Detroit is so beloved around the league is because he's not afraid to let them know, like, hey, I made a mistake. I'm not going to put it on my guys. So what I want Bill Belichick here, not necessarily. But if he does come, I know what he's bringing with him because he's been coaching for as long as I've been alive.
Fact.
So that's a lot of experience that he has that he can tailor-made, that he can put towards a lot of our guys on either on offense or defense because he's coached both sides of the ball. Mm-hmm. So that experience is going to go a long way. And we have more than enough talent here where his experience can get those guys to the very next level. So I don't feel like a black coach, a white coach, orange or green is really going to make a difference. The difference is, do they have the experience and are they able to lead a group of men to a common cause? We've seen in the last couple of years.
What if he came in here?
Not seen that. We haven't seen it.
So what if he came in here with, say Bellichek comes in? We're not pulling for Bellichek at all. We really don't want to retrade, even though, he does have rings. He's got a resume. But what if he comes in and it says, hey, I want Eric Bieniemy to be my offensive coordinator? What if he was to say that? And he said, I'm not worried about the defense. They're fine over there. I'm going to let them work, but we're going to retool this offense. What if he came with something like that? Now, a lot of us don't want retreads. We want somebody with some experience and actually can relate to the players. That's the main thing that you got to get to, because if you're not respected in that locker room, you see what happened with Dennis Allen. And you see what happened with Arthur Smith. They quit on him in the last game.
Oh, yeah. Lay down.
Would y'all be opposed? I'm saying, would y'all be opposed to that? Because it seems like our bullheaded, two-headed monster that we have, all I'm saying is, would y'all be opposed to that? That's the question. Because Bieniemy hadn't even been reviewed as even interviewed for the head coaching job in Washington yet.
Which is weird.
Go ahead, Greg.
Exactly.
Ahead. I don't want to cut you off, big dog.
Oh, no, you good. Would I would welcome it. But I know how Bill Belichick run. He did with the Patriots. He gonna run that thing with an iron fist.
Yeah.
Bill Parcells' protege. What you expect?
He gonna run it, because more than likely he gonna want to also be a GM as well. So are we gonna be welcome to that?
No, absolutely not.
That's the caveat. That's the caveat.
So here's the question. Now you just hit on a good point. Now we as fans, we're saying, we don't want this here and this here. So here's my question, and y'all can answer this in the chat too. What if he says, okay, I'm not worried about the fan base. We're going to start winning. I got him on.
Yeah, come on. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
You said not going to worry about the fan base.
Yeah, no, I'm saying for him, he would probably come in here with the mindset, he's going to say the political stuff, but he's like, look, if we start winning ball games, the fan base is going to come around, regardless of who is coaching.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying I'm advocating for the man to come here, because I actually want some new blood. But if he comes here and starts winning ball games, are y'all really gonna stop pulling for the Falcons?
No, ain't nobody gonna stop pulling for the
But we've had people in the groups today. Now I even posted, please keep him away from Atlanta. We want something new. But if management brings him here, because I've seen people say, man, I ain't rooting for the Falcons. Belichick come here. I'm still, look, 28-3 happened, ladies and gentlemen. We lost that Super Bowl. Point blank. I'm sorry, we didn't lose that Super Bowl. The team lost that Super Bowl. We just got our hearts broken as fans.
Right.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is, if he was to come here, and if management is stuck on that, and everybody's saying it's a possibility that they'll lose out on ticket sales, but if they start winning, do you really think that stadium's going to be empty?
No,
absolutely not. Absolutely.
Winning cures almost anything.
Winning cures everything.
in sports.
winning,
Yeah.
winning, it fixes everything real fast.
Especially
And,
this
and
man bring Kareem before Mr. Blank. Please.
exactly. That's the
Yeah.
one thing that this team we're seeking is a championship. The team has been around for 50 plus years. We've been to the Super Bowl twice, and we lost both of them.
Right.
We want someone that's going to lead us to hoisting that Lombardi trophy. And again, like for me, I don't truly feel like it's an issue. I want the pedigree of the head coach to be someone who can get us there. And we haven't had that in a very, very long time. So, and the biggest thing for me is who is going to fit that mold, especially with the guys that we currently have in the locker room. Can he fit those guys, and can he manage them in a way to get them ready to go to that next level for us to win the championship?
Agreed.
That's how I feel now. If we do our due diligence and the right guy is Bellichek, then we gonna hire him. I mean, I'm gonna get behind like the historian was saying. I mean, I'm for the logo, so that's who the logo picked to go. Get behind. I got to get behind him, just like we selected Desmond Ritter, and I fell for that banana in the tailpipe, and I got behind him. So why would I
Hey,
get that? Why would I not get behind these coaches?
K-Dub, please don't bring my migraine back. Please don't. I just got rid of my migraine. Don't
No,
bring it back.
I'm just saying. If I got
Don't say
behind
that man's
that,
name no
I
more,
get behind the new coach.
Don't say that man no more, brother.
Cam, you know what? I'll send you my migraine pills they gave me from the VA today, man. I got so many of them.
Boy, you got them, boy, you got that good stuff.
I got that good stuff, boy.
But I do want the right coach. I want the right coach.
As bad as the Falcons been for these past couple of years or whatnot, man. Literally, I've been in the VA because of them jokers. I've had to talk to a psychiatrist because of them jokers. On top of my PTSD from the service, dog. So it's just what it is.
The Falcons did something emotionally to everybody.
I'm trying to tell you, boy.
But Falcon fans definitely are damn near as close to a military veteran than anything, bro. Because boy, we got flashbacks for so many things that's done happened to us and just that shouldn't have happened.
We find new innovative ways to lose. I tell you that much.
Man, for real.
Creative ways, boy. Things you'll never think. But I just think if they hold on Bill, cool. If he bring us winning, cool. But I'm kind of leaning towards Steve Wilk. I like the makeup. Yep. I like the leadership that he will bring to the football team. I just think he will be what we need. I think he will be messed up. I think that he'll be.
Shout out to Uncle Steve, man. Y'all check out Uncle Steve's Lounge, man. He shot us out on his show. Hey, you got to get up in here one day. You know, you're a veteran too. You got 4 of them on the screen. We need you up in here one day, Uncle Steve.
Hey, look here.
Come on in there and check us out.
Uncle Steve, can we not say this man's name, please, like ever? Because like my head.
Damn, there you go, right there. Somebody speaking out for you right there, bro.
I'm about to have an aneurysm hearing that man's name, bro. Come on.
Hey,
yeah, man.
Martavius is the one who said that for you, bro.
Hey, look, you can't even say turnover.
No, do not bring up that government mule. And don't bring up that piss poor quarterback in my presence. I'm
Pitts alone.
My stomach.
Leave that man alone, man.
Just leave him alone, Cam.
Stall him out, Debo. Stall him out.
Hey, you know what? Pitts is on my good side right now, so I'm not gonna talk bad about the man. I'm not gonna talk bad about Pitts.
You got to get that. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold up. If you said that, I got to give you this. I just got to give you one. Hold up. Just like Smokey say, damn, I got to give you that, bro. Because, man, really? That's a first, Cam.
Hey, I'm going to be honest. Y'all know how I felt about Pitts the first 3 seasons.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Pitts did a lot of great things this year. And if he could have been more consistent with us getting the ball to him, because he did a lot of good things. He's improved on his blocking. So I'm going to give that man his credit. I'm not going to keep dogging him when I see his improvements year after year after year after year, especially coming off of a really bad knee injury.
Right.
So Pitts did enough for me this year for me to say, hey, I love to see where he's going, and I hope we bring him back. But in all honesty, if we say that other dude name one more time, I'm throwing up on screen because I can't take it.
Just make sure. Hey, just
Can we
make sure you put your
Hey,
head in.
look.
I'm gonna tell you like we said on the ship. Put your head in the garbage bag, bro. We ain't trying to see that.
Oh Lord,
We ain't
boy.
trying to see that, man. You gonna have everybody on this screen puking, man. Stop it.
Hey, can we
New
say
energy,
can we
2024,
say
new energy.
can we say turnover? Oh, we can't say that either.
Man, I'm calling that man pastry chef. I ain't got to say
There we
turnover.
go.
We
Nah,
calling
That
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 man
works.
bake, nah,
That
pastry
that,
works because
chef.
I know
nah,
exactly
that
what you're
bake,
saying.
nah, that
We
Baker
gonna call
Mayfield.
that
Eat the
man
bacon.
pastry chef, dog.
Pastry
That's his
chef
name from
Baker
here on
Mayfield.
out.
That man, hey, we got peach pies, we got apple pies, we got all that stuff for you.
Man,
Call that man, we call that man the pastry chef.
leave that.
But getting back to it, man,
Thaw
so
that
we
man out.
already talked about pretty much new coaches that's coming through. The Falcons, we talked about them eyeing Bill Belichick. Right now, it's one of the hottest topics out here because here's how ironic this is. I'm gonna paint a picture for you. So you
But
have Bill Belichick, you have Nick Saban, and you have Pete Carroll. It's
Hmm,
like a trifecta with those three.
hmm,
that's
They
the end
were
of an era.
hmm.
all think about it. They were all in the same coaching circle for a period of time, even as assistants. Because think about it, Pete Carroll was at Ohio State before he came to the NFL, and when he left, Nick Saban filled in for him, while Belichick was still with the Giants at the time, coaching LT and doing his thing. Now, fast forward, getting to the NFL, Pete Carroll's with the Jets. He does bad there. Then you get Bill Parcells to come in. Then you get Belichick to come in, and he leaves and goes to New England. Nick Saban literally was with your man Belichick in Cleveland.
Yes, sir.
So, and I mean, and one of the guests that we had on here, Mr. Anthony Blaylock, shout out to Coach Blaylock, BirdCage
Shout out.
alumni. He'll be
Shout out.
coming back soon. He played for Belichick, and he also played for Coach Saban. I'll put it this way. I'll let him tell the stories and talk about it because he has some choice things to say off camera and some things that won't be revealed. So I just leave it like that. But other than that, you look at it, all those guys have won championships.
You know,
That's the
but
one thing all three of those guys got in common. They
they
were
know.
literally in the same circle throughout, you talking 30, 40 years.
Yeah, and Pete Carroll won in college and pro.
2 national championships in college and 1 Super Bowl in the NFL and
It should have
another
been.
Super Bowl appearance.
It should have
And
been
who does he
two.
lose to?
It should have been two.
Patriots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't get me started because I lost money to a shipmate over that Super Bowl. That's them bad memories right there, bro. Don't do that. I might call my boy up and cuss him out. But other than that, though, you look at that circle that they've been in. That circle is a successful circle. Bill Parcells coaching tree literally is one of the most successful in the league. Next
Yeah.
to Bill Walsh, you got the Bill Parcells circle, and then you still got the Chuck Noll influence because guys grew up under Tony Dungy and people won a couple of Super Bowls. So you're seeing the influence of 4 legendary coaches literally all around the league. And it just eked through. So now that we've seen all these guys retire, now we don't know. I'm sorry, we saw Saban retire, but these other 2 coaches got fired. Do you think they retire? Or do you think they stay on the sideline?
They
I
might.
think
I
they
mean,
go
Bill
ahead.
Belichick. Oh no, my bad. Bill Belichick been coaching for a very long time. I'm talking about almost 30 years of coaching. He
40
might.
years of coaching.
Well, I mean, 40 years of coaching.
Because he started off with the Baltimore Colts, and that was
Right.
before they went to Indianapolis.
I'm just saying though, man. Sometimes, man, you just get burned out.
Yeah.
And he got a point in his life, just like I know Nick Saban is. What more do I have to prove? I don't did everything and won at the highest level multiple times.
Yeah, multiple.
What do I have to prove? Now, I'm not saying that he still might have the urge to coach, But I think he might step away for a year or two and then try to come back. But right now, I just think he might just ride off in the sunset for a while. I don't think he's gonna coach next year.
Well, I think both of the guys that got fired come back in some type of capacity, maybe not head coaching, but like maybe as an analyst or advisor to an organization and in some kind of role of that nature. But to still be around the game, but not actual head coaching where you got to commit so much time to the game as you
Right.
did as a head coach.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Honestly,
So that's what
you
I
already
see.
saw Nick Saban wife say, "Hey, you got grandkids to play with. We not gonna you got grandkids to play with. You take all them football players out on that boat on the lake. It's time for you to take our grandkids out there. You know,
yeah.
Miss Saban ain't nothing to mess with.
She ain't.
She ain't nothing to mess with, boy.
Man, you got to think about it though, man. All them years he had to go recruit with
Yeah.
LSU, and then turn around and had to go to Alabama. Man, she like,
But
look,
20. That was 24 years at Alabama.
yeah,
So
17 years at Alabama. 17, not 24.
okay,
17.
17. I'm sorry, 17. I got him and Bellichek
You got him
mixed
and
up.
Bellichek mixed up.
But that 17 years at Bama. Then he had what, a couple years at
LSU,
LSU. So
Michigan
like
State.
that's 20. Wait, let's just round it off. 25 years worth of college football. He went to the league. Like it's a lot. And I mean, if you really look at it, I can see Pete Carroll, even though he got fired as a coach, I can see him moving upstairs to a president role or something like that around for the organization.
agreed.
But with Belichick, I just feel like this man has, like I said earlier, he's been coaching as long as I've been alive, and I'm 40 years old.
Oh, man.
You've been coaching a little bit longer than that, Cam.
Man,
So
man.
no, like I said, I'm 40. He's been coaching as long as I've been alive. So
Wait a minute.
add to it.
So you was born in the 70s. Nothing wrong with that. But he been coaching since the early to mid 70s. That was when he really started. So Belichick done been around for a long time.
That means time for you to sit your long time behind down. That's what it means.
Hey, I mean I'm just like this, man. If you've been
He
coaching
sound
for,
like, hold up. He sound like one of them damn orderlies in the damn nursing home telling the old man to sit down. Sit your old ass down.
if
You
you've
gonna
been
break a hip.
you've been coaching for that long, man.
Yeah,
You
man.
deserve it, bro. You
You
deserve to
deserve
just
it,
kick your
man.
feet up and have,
But-
you know.
Yeah, man. I'm not knocking him. I'm giving him his flowers, man.
Oh
It's
no,
time to
you giving his
rest.
flowers, man. But just think
It's
about
time
it.
to
Like
rest.
for my movie connoisseurs out here, I'm a movie connoisseur as well. But just like if you remember Rocky IV, when Apollo fell off the face of the earth, he was just a trainer, just trying to find his way. It's just like he said, where does the warrior go if there's no war to fight anymore? If there's no battle? And you have to look at it from that standpoint. This is what these guys have been doing day in, day out, making money,
3.
putting kids through college, doing everything. So when you really see it, it's like, no, it was in the fourth one that he made that speech before the Russian. Go back to it. That's one of my favorites.
Mhm.
That's when he was standing in front of the TV. He said,
Yeah.
he said the warrior might as well be dead, Stallion.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
that
right.
was in the fourth one.
Without a flashback? Oh no. You're
No,
right.
that
That's
was in the
4.
living room when they were talking.
That's 4. That's 4. I'm thinking about 5.
Yeah,
My
that's
bad.
4. I know which
I'm
one you thinking about when he caught him in the gym in 3.
Right.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, my bad.
But just think about it. You're taking guys that are old war horses,
Mhm.
literally out of a battle that they've been in for over 40 years. Think about
Oh,
this.
church mothers.
It's hard.
Sit your little old down.
Hey,
He got it. Octavian got a point too, man.
you know what? I literally
too.
forgot my point laughing on Octavius, dog.
He got
I
a
can't
he
stand
got a
you,
good point.
Octavius.
He got a good ass point.
That's why Bree be getting on you, bro, because you always starting some mess. That's why she get on you. You always starting some mess. Don't come in here with that foolery tonight.
Low key, he wasn't lying though. He did kind of like an old grandmama in the back of the Baptist church. You know,
But getting back to it though, just
trying
think
to
about
pray
it,
and
though.
whatnot.
That's pretty much, that's been their career. You move them away from it. How do they function without it? How do they live? Because it's just like in the military. A lot of us are lost when we get out. Some of us aren't, But a lot of us are lost because you have a structured day. You have time schedules. You have this, you have meetings. And anybody understands that when you have that type of lifestyle that you're living out of your suitcase or you're living out of your sea bag like I used to do and these gentlemen here used to do. It's really a different kind of feel. So these old guys, I'm sorry, I can't call them old guys because they won championships. These legendary
Easy.
figures in the game, let me not disrespect them. It's hard for them to adjust. And I think Bill Belichick wants a new challenge. And he wants to prove that he can win without Tom Brady because that's going to always tarnish. It's not going to tarnish his legacy, but that's going to always have a little bit of an asterisk there. And if he was to come to Atlanta and win a Super Bowl, the team that he beat and had the major comeback from, it literally would validate his career.
I mean,
it's already validated now with championships, but that would put him on top of Mount Rushmore.
Nobody will ever say anything about it if he ever went to do that because right now they can. Because Tom Brady left and with the Tampa Bay, which pretty much was already a established team, they were just making a quarterback, and he came in and won in the first year, and then was the first quarterback to win a Super Bowl in pretty much in their home field in their backyard.
Ever did it in 2 different conferences.
Exactly. So if he was to do something like that, I mean, the naysayers will never be able to say anything about damn it messed up.
Down.
God dang, Scoop.
He part of the church lady. He part of the church lady crew.
Wow.
Let's go.
Yeah, he part of the church. Yeah, wait a minute.
Come on, Scoop. You can't do that,
bro. Hey, he part of the church. Look, you say he part of the church crew. That's Scoop is that usher when you walk through the church that he leading people to the pews. Sit your ass down. He the one that'll sit there and cuss it. Sit your ass down. He that old man that's up in there. Killing that deacon that don't mind. He gonna fire off and say something off the wall. And then you got Scoop, the quiet usher, that's gonna hand you that peppermint and say, "Good job, young man." Hand you that peppermint, but you piss him off. Sit your ass down. Just like you just said about Bellichek. That's Scoop all day.
Boy, Scoop ain't shit.
That's my dog. That's our brother, though, man. That's our partner, man. Shout out to our boy Scoop, aka the Black Wall Street, man. That boy, that crazy.
Oh man, but yeah, it'll solidify his career, which already should be solidified. But yeah, that'll right there be the nail in the coffin. What more can you think?
Now, the one thing that we'll talk about, because like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on Bellichek because he's getting, man, him and Saban, they getting tributes on every network. They getting flowers, champagne, candy. They getting royal bathers like in Coming to America.
Bruh, look what they did.
I'm telling you.
Nick Saban has been the gold standard for college football for over a decade.
Kirby Smart getting ready to take that over. He only 48.
Yeah, true, but
it's a changing of the guard. It's a changing of the guard. I mean, the eras are changing right now. When people go down like this, like a Bear Bryant sitting there. So.
Hey man, I'm gonna say this here, and I'm gonna piss off some people, and I don't care. I don't want to hear about the level of competition. Y'all can kiss my ass. Eddie Robinson will always be the GOAT. 9 national championships before all these PWIs started stealing players from HBCUs. The Georgias and the Alabamas that you saw that Saban was building, Eddie Robinson had that back in the day. And that was before integration. So if you want to sit there and crown somebody, crown a 9-time national champion, baby. That's all I'm saying.
No argument from me.
Nah, because I done had some folks come in here. Oh, well, it's a different level. Bull. Because the man sent over 200 players to the NFL, is about to have 5 Hall of Famers, and literally was at one school for 50 some odd years.
Okay. Talk that talk then, his story.
Dog, it's just the fact that I respect Nick Saban, but don't discredit somebody who did it before him. Please don't, because I've had to jump down some folks' throats or whatever. Put some respect on the legend's name. I hate Grambling State University. I hate it like I hate the Saints, and I hate it like I hate the Gators. But I respect that legend. Real talk.
Yeah, you hate them Gators, boy. Good God. But,
Yeah. Always talking about them Gators.
boy, them
Damn
Gators,
straight.
them Gators get no love,
It
bro.
must, it must, it must be some Gator. It must have,
Migraine.
Shut up.
it get,
Oh
Y'all ain't
boy.
never got two things that match.
Yeah, you need something because you ain't got nothing matching over there, man. You need a headache and some water. You ain't got two things that's matching right now, dog.
Man had a
Fix that
headache.
headache.
That man had a headache and water.
Yes, sir. Fix that headache with a
he
pill and
said
some
you got,
water, sir.
Boy,
he
you
And
said
sound
call
you
me
like
in
got,
the morning.
you
boy,
got
you sound like
BC, you got BC powder in the water.
oh man. You sound like the army.
Hey, but
Hey,
but
that was
speaking
just
on
fix everything
medical
right
and
there.
BC and
DC
powder,
powder and some ginger ale. That fix everything.
I'm trying to
well,
tell you.
maybe some ginger ale can fix Mr. Kyle Pitts because he spoke about that MCL, PCL, and that LCL injury that he had. It was a lot worse than what everybody knew.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at that, Kyle Pitts definitely, and I said it, and I said this at the beginning of the season, he wasn't going to be the same, and he'll probably catch his stride near the middle or close to the end of the season because he had to get the speed of the game down and he had to get comfortable with being on that knee.
Right.
And anybody that's had a knee injury, you understand what it's like rehabbing and getting back. And the first time you bump into something or something bumps into you, you're looking like, oh, looking down, trying to make sure your knee is still there. Because even though you might have gone through the rehab process, it's still a mental thing. Now, next year, I expect Pitts to come out of the gates just killing everybody next year.
Yeah.
So, he wrote it out. He finally told the fans what was up. His injury was much worse than what it was. And we actually all said this on the panel that his injury might have been concealed a little bit more than what it was. But hopefully, like I said, hopefully he comes out of the gates blasting and he's doing his thing. Hopefully he does his thing and helps us in the red zone. Well, you have to understand why they hid the injury. That's because most teams would have been trying to take him out anyway. If
They
you look
still
at what
try.
Eddie Jackson did to Nick Chubb, that should tell you something.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad.
So the last thing you want to see is Kyle Pitts' knee looking like Nick Chubb's did in that game between Pittsburgh and Cleveland, where his body was over here and his knee was over here. That's the last thing you want to see. And it was the same knee he injured in college.
That was not a good look. Man.
Most definitely.
Because
Definitely
if we can all look at Pitts this year towards the middle of the season, you can see him gradually starting to believe that the knee was completely healed. And we could see like when he's not in his head worrying about his knee, he does some very, very good things on the football field. So next year I'm looking forward to seeing the healthier version. If we bring back Jonnu Smith, that two-headed monster at the tight end position should be one of the stronger positions for us because with both of them dudes on the field, it's an absolute mismatch. So, Kyle Pitts, if you're watching this, brother, I hope you really rehab this offseason, work on that knee, strengthen it, and come back next year better because you did one hell of a job this season. I'm gonna give you your flowers right now because if you come out looking like crap next season, I'm on your ass.
Don't worry. If I see him in Philly eating a cheesesteak, I'm gonna slap it at his hand and say, "Get some salmon and some brown rice, bro. We need you back for next year."
Let that man enjoy the Philadelphia delicacy.
He born and raised here, man. He from Delaware County, man. Stop it.
Let that man eat that cheesesteak, man.
No. I
Hey,
didn't give it
look.
100%.
I'm just messing around now. I'm gonna let him eat. I'm just messing with him.
100. We need him at 110%. But
Yeah.
just to piggyback what Cam was saying, I just feel like another year removed from that surgery and rehab, and you're gonna be the guy that we drafted. And I'm just excited to see how the new head coach that we do hire. We don't know who that particular person is going to be, the way he's going to use him, because it's a reason why a lot of people around the league are high on him. I think he just has to be put in the right situation to be successful and be great. But that's my take on it.
Good question. The calorie cut.
We said it 30. It's supposed to increase this year. That was what was said last year. It's supposed to increase. So it's definitely going to help us out because we got money to burn this year.
I mean,
and at this point, we definitely need a quarterback right now. We
Yeah.
really need a quarterback right now.
But also gonna come down to some question. Kyle Pickett coming up on the contract. AJ Terrell coming up on the contract.
Yeah.
Man, who said that?
We need him at 150 because he only give up. Man, that messed up.
Man,
Boy,
stop
God,
this.
boy.
Hey,
Man,
look.
that's for
Come on,
hey, that was
Cletus. Come on, Cletus.
Hey, that's not me, y'all. That's not my burner account.
nah, that's not your burner account.
That's
I'm
not
trying
my
to figure.
burner
I
account.
look.
That's not
I'm
me.
trying to. I think that's my boy Philip Jordan Wells right there. Shout out to my dog Philip Jordan
we
Wells.
need
That
Man.
him
ain't me.
at. We need
That
him
boy
at.
there, that boy
That's
there,
not me.
crazy as heck.
That's
That's where
not
that
me.
came
I'm
from.
gonna let y'all know.
We
Ain't
trying
me.
to give this man his flowers. He just throw them all the way
That
back
man
under the
said we
bus.
need him at 150
He
because he only give up 50.
he came and snatched the flowers up and ripped them up off the
Oh,
ground. We tried to give him flowers.
nah, he
What's
ran them
going on,
down.
Island Mike? Our partner, our player partner. What's
What up?
going
What
on,
up,
Mr.
Mike?
Island
Nah,
Mike?
nah, he
Island
ran.
Mike,
My
what it
God,
is,
Mike,
what
what's
it
going
do?
on, brother?
Man, he ran them flowers.
Mike already starting trouble as is.
Boy, he ran them flowers overboard. God
Yeah, he
damn.
ran
Mike,
him
Man.
look,
slap
Mike
up.
started trouble. Look, Mike started trouble everywhere he go, man.
That man can he only get we need him at 150 because he only give a 50.
That's a damn shame. See, Mike, you got to stop that, man. Okay, now that was Island Mike who put that out there. I had to go
Oh,
back and
okay, I
I
got
had to
you, I
Boy,
got you, I
refresh.
Mike,
got you.
You
Mike,
know
All right,
what?
okay.
Mike, you wrong for
Mike been
that.
talking cash noise for the past 7 weeks. This is what we get in here. This is what we do in the BirdCage, man. Shout out to our boy Island Mike out there in Puerto Rico, man. Y'all stay safe out there, man. But getting back to it though, the next thing that we're gonna cover is pretty much these Falcon players that have made All Pro. You got Jesse Bates the third, Bankhead Bates is better known to be exact, and then you got
Bankhead.
Chris Lindstrom bringing the funk on that offensive line all year, and
Two.
these two Pro Bowlers, they're All Pro, and then
Only
you get Bijan Robinson, who has the highest average rush for a rookie, rush yards for a rookie this year. I know. We know Tyler is the man, but you got to give the kid credit though. He got something. Could have been worse, but like I said, we'll see how the new coach actually is going to use him. But all I'm saying is we got to give credit to where credit is due, and at this point, the
we get
Falcons definitely are in a spot where we have some bright spots. Period.
you
The
know what I mean?
Yeah.
question is, how is this new coach going to use these guys that are all pros, and how are they going to be able to challenge them and help them matriculate to another level to where they don't get caught up in their own hype?
Well, my question is, whoever we get as the head coach, how much power he gonna have when it comes to the draft, and what is his main focus gonna be in that draft? We already know we need a quarterback, but what else are you gonna look at on the team that we be like we need to fix that immediately before we can move forward?
Yeah, I agree with that point, Graybeard. But honestly, Brian and you said earlier, how are we going to utilize our weapons? Because
Right.
that's something that's been sorely lacking over the last 3 years. Kyle Pitts is underutilized. Drake is underutilized. Arthur Smith force fed Bijan pretty much the whole season. Late, pretty much after he started getting criticized about putting the ball in Bijan's hands or the lack of usage that Bijan had, then he started force feeding it. So the thing that we're looking at is will there be an equal balance among the stars on the offensive side of the ball? Because there's honestly no reason in the last game that Drake had two targets and Kyle Pitts had 3. So that's a legitimate problem when those are your mainstays at the receiver position. That they both have less than 5 targets in a football game.
Man, this guy.
Now the next thing is Caleb McGarry.
Look down at the screen before you start talking,
Man,
sir.
look at the
Please,
screen,
just
bro.
look down.
Caleb McGrady is an all pro. Over. You get ran.
Cam, how you feel about that one, bro?
Hey, look, just when we were trying to be serious,
Hey, if
This
y'all didn't
fool,
know, me and Octavius are long lost cousins. All right. He reads what's in my head. That man, he there go that migraine again. This man is possibly the worst football player I've ever seen in my life.
Wow, that
This
says a
is the
lot.
same man who said, if you want your quarterback to be protected, you draft me.
Yeah, he had that
He protects the turf more than he protects the quarterback.
I
at the
don't even think he
Barkley.
protect the turf because you see it still getting kicked up anyway.
Damn.
That man couldn't listen. That man couldn't guard the Gatorade cooler if you gave him an M16, a bulletproof vest, and 6 grenades on his hip, and definitely a battle helmet. That man couldn't guard. I mean, just he couldn't even guard a water bottle, dog. That's all I'm saying.
Damn.
He made Jalen Mayfield look like that was the work. Like we should have never cut
Hey,
him.
whoa,
That's as bad
hey,
as
Whoa,
McGarry is. Nah, that's how I feel about it. Because McGarry been getting whooped like a redheaded stepchild in Kmart in '94. Let's talk about it.
How many
no,
bright
no,
spots
no.
did we get from Jalen Mayfield?
Mm-mm.
How many? Just name me one.
Wait
Name
a
me
minute.
one.
Wait a minute. He
Name
got a
me
ton
one.
of he got a ton of bright spots when he
Where?
laid on the when he was on his back looking up at them lights.
What you talking
Oh
about at
my
Michigan?
God.
You talking about at Michigan?
Oh no, when he was getting run over and put on his ass.
No, yeah. You must be talking about Michigan, not Atlanta.
Nah,
Boy,
man. You know
stop.
I got the clown, man. This is just what it was. But
You said
I'll
Jalen
say this though.
Mayfield?
I'm gonna tell you this
Jalen?
here. The guy that needs to be
Is
starting.
that varsity mega higher on it? Hey, look, we got some comics tonight. They got a last set going, man. I'm trying to keep it. I'm trying to keep it $1.50, man.
Hey man, no, we got to laugh, man. As many times as we've been
No,
pissed
I
off, we
mean,
got to
no,
laugh right
no,
now.
it's good. It's just like they just coming tonight, boy.
Hey man, y'all, this is what
Hey,
I want. This is what I want. Y'all got to keep it coming.
hey,
Just
Octavius was on one tonight, man.
Caleb McGarry and Jalen Mayfield are the Spider-Man meme.
They literally are. No,
I mean,
you bad. No, you bad. No, you
can't
bad.
get no worse than those two. I'm sorry, man. They both terrible.
The
Terrible.
dumb and dumber of the offensive line.
this what we need to
Honestly,
tell. Hey, all we got to
bad.
do is tell Mayfield this. This is what we need to tell Mayfield. Just
Okay? Don't ever come by
Come
here.
back here.
you will never come back to Atlanta, Mr. Mayfield, and McGarry gonna be right along with you, and we will say that. Don't you ever come
Come
around here.
around here, trying to block like that boy.
No, sir. Because you get my franchise quarterback hurt, I might have to drive down with Philly, and I'm gonna take a 2x4 to your knee. I'm gonna go ahead and put you out your misery.
All right. What's the name? Nancy Kerrigan.
Let me stop clowning.
Ooh, why that? That messed up.
Now here's my solution I got to get rid of McGarry. This is how we do this here. Hey man. But this is the solution I say. Take Hen Dog off of the center position. Put him in McGarry's spot. Let him be a guard. Let him be a guard because he's big enough to, and he's quick enough, and he's definitely a solid run blocker. Go ahead and draft you a center. If we get a coach in here who actually like dogs, you better go get Cedric Von Prime Granger.
Yeah.
I'm serious. You want leadership on the line. He's coming in a little bit older, and all I'm saying is, hey, go get it.
Plug and play.
Let the young dog hunt.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Jalen Mayfield is back in college. He played on Monday night. Y'all saw him.
Wow.
Y'all saw him. Jalen Mayfield went back to college.
Got him a national championship.
No, he didn't. He got Michael Penix killed all night. All night.
Oh, he switched sides. He played devil's advocate.
He got that man killed the whole night.
He had no protection.
I felt bad for Michael Penix. I want to cry for that man.
None.
Man, none. They were dropping balls and just man, it was just bad. So bad. But
Yeah, it was terrible. It was not the national championship worth watching. That's all I can say.
Man,
no, it was actually pretty good, man. I mean,
For
people
a
got
quarter?
tired.
For
Yeah,
a quarter?
people got tired. Okay, people were literally complaining about the tragedy known as TCU last year. I mean, oh, they was like, look, we can't take it no more. We just don't want no more SEC team in the national title game because we
well,
know
that's
they're
day
gonna blow
one
out.
mulligan. This is where you mess up at. The
Yeah,
12-game playoff, you about to have 6 of them. And half of them boys gonna be playing in the NFL.
fact.
And they're gonna be first-round picks. So it is what it is.
Over the whole can. Over the
I'm
whole
trying
can.
to tell you. So getting back to it, we sitting over here cutting up. I got another piece of business.
Oh,
We got another piece of business to handle.
what's up?
We got a former general manager in the NFL by the name of Mr. Michael Lombardi. I'm gonna tell you how much I respect the clown. I didn't even make a title for his ass. You got Michael Lombardi talking about Terry Fontenot's gonna be out. Okay. You're sitting there, you're a blogger now. You talk about what GMs are supposed to do, but yet and still you couldn't keep your job. You was in Cleveland and you had a couple of other places that you worked at. And you're literally a trash. And I say trash. I'm gonna be a little proper. You're a little bit of real garbage.
Well, shit.
Wait. Out
Garbage.
where? Out on the
I'm gonna put
town?
the
Out
accent
with
on
his
it for you.
wife? Out what? Out with the kids? Out where?
I'm telling you right now, dog. You were really one of the worst GMs. And he's a Jersey boy, by the way. I'm sorry, Island Mike. I know you're a Jersey guy, but that's one of your trash. That's one of your pieces of trash from Jersey. He's from Ocean City at that.
Garbage.
And this man, I'm sorry. Let me stop trashing. Mike actually has 3 Super Bowls. I'm just talking trash. He definitely isn't a trash GM. He's got 3 Super Bowls under his belt. He was with the Patriots when they won them, but he benefited as an assistant to the coaching staff, not as a general manager. Let me put that out there. As a general manager, he was fired. He was an assistant to the coaching staff. In other words, he was getting donuts and coffee. So for those who don't get that title, assistant to the coaching staff, you're not involved in any picks. You're pretty much getting coffee. You're getting pastrami on rye for these guys, and you're bringing in their donuts.
You bringing in
But
Craig from Pond
so quick
for the
question.
sandwiches?
You have no right to talk about a guy that revamped the defense that literally worked his way up through the ranks, my guy.
Quick question. So we talking about Terry out as far as what with his wife, his kids, or is he talking about out as the
Oh,
general
no, he's
manager?
talking about out as a GM. He thinks he's gonna be fired. But here's the thing though. Now the one thing I got to give him, he knows how to scout players because he was actually a scout for the San Francisco 49ers from 1984 to 87 during their heyday. And then he came to the Cleveland Browns in 1987 through 89. And he discovered one of our former guests, Mr. Anthony Blaylock. That was one of the guys who scouted him. Hey, man, I got to give credit where credit is due. He found a hell of a player at Winston-Salem State. Got to give it to him. He don't mind going to HBCU, so I got to give him some kind of love. But as for being on TV, you're a freaking idiot talking about Terry Fontenot the way
he's another blowhard like Jason Woodlock.
They just want to talk, man.
He can fall off the face of the earth for all I care.
I'll be honest with you. I got a little bit more respect for Lombardi than I do Whitlock. At least Lombardi has won something. He actually recruited Jerry Rice and those guys. He actually did something right. Man, Jason Whitlock, you know what?
He got cooked.
I'm not at that status. Let me make sure I put this out here. I'm not at the status to sit here and criticize people in a place that I'd like to get to one day. So I'm not there yet. So I can't say anything.
You don't have to.
Pretty much just a fart in the wind right now to the pod.
Stephen A. Smith already did that. Stephen A. Smith already did that.
Stephen A. Smith handled my lightweight, so it's whatever. But No, but he pretty much said that because Terry's not being in a situation, he's not gonna let him. He's not gonna. He said they're not gonna let him pick his head coach. And 9 times out of 10, even though he's doing the player personnel, he's probably not going to have that much input on selecting players. Because if he had much input on selecting players, they wouldn't have gone three straight drafts with offensive players when you had generational talent coming out. Now, those were his words.
But here we go. Also, when you listen to the president and the CEO, they've come out and said they will take his input. They'll take what he says into consideration. But when it's all said and done, we're making the final decision. So when you have a guy who has the GM title and you know that he's being handcuffed, I mean, how much more do you expect him to do? How much more can he do? How much more can he help the team? The man got us out of cap hell. He revamped the whole defense. He brought in Ryan Nielsen. He brought in Derry Gray. That's all the things that he's done on his end. When you look at the totality of the NFL, how many general GMs get shut out from bringing in a coach that they want? There's
Not
only
many.
one other franchise in the NFL that does that, and that's the Dallas Cowboys in Jerry's world. Jerry runs that. He runs everything there.
Everything.
So when you look at it, Arthur Blank and Rich McKay have brought in, if you look at the last 3 coaches that we've had here, they all fell within a 3-year period.
And they didn't just think about this, Cam. They didn't just bring him in. They went to a consulting firm and got him. They went through a consulting firm.
Hell out of here.
Like, how do you not pay attention to your employees? Why are you seeking a consulting firm to go get the people that's gonna lead your organization and that's supposed to help you win games and win a championship? How do you go to a consulting firm? My thing is, Arthur Blank, if you're listening, Mr. Blank, I think, and the only reason I call you Mr. is because you're my elder. And my grandmother and all my family taught me I had to respect my elders. So if you're listening, you better get you a damn receipt that you have, and you need to go ahead and get a refund because that was just awful.
Let the football people do the football stuff. Again, Terry has been around this game long enough to where he's gone from a polywog in all of this, take it back to the military days, and now he's that guy. He worked his way up through the ranks. He was the grunge at the bottom of the totem pole. Now he's sitting towards the top. He helped with those backheads up in New Orleans. He helped build that team and keep that team as a top 10 defense for so many years. That was his doing. And a lot of people don't want to give him the credit. But the thing is this, when you have a guy like that, you're going to put him in a position to where he has to decide, is this really the position that I want to stay in? And you're going to lose out on someone like that. And once you do that, now the franchise is going to be looked in a certain way where people are not going to want to come here and deal with the franchise because the way you deal with your people who run management. So you have to allow your GM to do what you hired him to do. He's not just a personnel guy. You have to allow him to bring in people that he wants to bring in. That way, if he does get fired, it's based on the merits of the people he brought in, not because of the 2 people above him who went to a talent firm to bring in people who don't pan out, and now the GM got to go because of it. No, that's not how it's supposed to be done. But again, I don't run the Falcons, so hey, who am I to talk?
Man, we probably could do a better job. We probably could do a better job of that. I'll tell you that now. The person that needs to go is Rich McKay. I'm sorry. Rich got to go.
But here's the thing.
I hate to say it, but
he should have been gone years ago.
Right.
I'm going to say this, Mr. McKay. You are not your dad. Your dad might have, he came into a situation where he coached one of the worst franchises of all time, which was the Tampa Bay Bucks when they first got in. And he took them from literally nothing to the NFC Championship game and, a divisional champion. So I'm just saying, God rest his soul. But all I'm saying is this, man. you gotta go. I know you're auditioning to become the commissioner of the NFL. That's pretty much what you're doing in Atlanta. And bringing Terry Fontenot in was pretty much a notch under your belt to make your resume look a little bit better so you can get that job, because Goodell's gonna be gone soon. So guess what? You got somebody in here that's there. And my thing is, Arthur Blank is never gonna fire this man.
No.
Arthur Blank is never gonna fire this man.
I don't know.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? Scoop just said
DK.
Arthur Blank is not a football guy. You hired a head coach that's not a football guy. How does that happen? How does that happen?
Because you're not a football guy. Because you're not a football guy.
No, that's a legitimate question. I'm not even being funny right now. Arthur Blank is not a football guy. He's a businessman, and yet he does terrible business. You hire a head coach who's not a football person. How does that happen? And then you keep him here for 3 years, thinking that the formula that you guys have is going to work. It's failed. This is the literal definition of insanity. Thinking that something is going to change, doing the same things over and over again. And we failed over and over and over again doing the same thing. Let's allow the GM that we have to do his job and bring in someone that not only fits the culture, but fits the people that's in the locker room. The Jesse Bates, the Tyler Algiers, Bijan, Drake. We have to find someone who is close to, who understands the game of football, that can not only coach them up, but put them in the best position to succeed and win us the Super Bowl.
Great.
But exactly. we don't have that formula here. So when is that going to change?
Yeah.
Come on. Hey, bro, you got to take a nap, brother. You got to go sleep.
Yeah, you got to go sleep.
Ain't nothing wrong. Listen, you saying turkey necks, you making me hungry, man. Ain't nothing like some smothered turkey necks, rice, cornbread, collard greens. You know, y'all got me over here starving.
Hey, come on, man. Don't do that.
Hey, man, you got me over here starving. Give me some of that good old brown gravy with them smothered turkey necks. Yes, sir. I'm a Southern boy to the death. So I'm sorry for y'all Yankees that don't eat them. Guess what? That's more for me.
Big ass thing to IT, boy. Who you talking?
But at this point, I just want a championship. At this point, I don't care how we get it. I just want it.
We want a championship and respect, because right now we literally are the joke of the National Football League. When people play the Falcons, they start laughing. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah.
I'm tired of, but I got to take blow for the team every freaking day. The only thing I got on my thing right now is UGA. They the only prop that we got right now.
But you know what though, man? A Super Bowl championship looks so good. It's just like it reminds me of Miss Parker bending over in Friday. You know what I'm saying? It looks so good from behind right now.
Lord have mercy. The Lord is my shepherd. He know what I want. Excuse me, brother.
That make me think about Miss Parker right there. Looking at a Super Bowl trophy make me think about Miss Parker off of Friday. It looked good.
Time for prayer.
Let's just say it this here. Hey, you see Bellichek then left. Bellichek wasn't hitting it right. Need some young meat.
Yeah, but the thing is, but y'all brought up a good question though. If the GM doesn't have the power to collect his own personnel, how in the hell Bellichek gonna fit here? Because you know Bellichek gonna want his own type of player.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, Killian will be happy because he'll get one of his favorite players to get drafted here. You know, Lad McConkey will get drafted if Bellichek is here. You know, Lad is coming. That's gonna be his Wes Welker if he comes.
Mm-hmm.
You already know.
It might work. Hey, Lad may be able to get it done.
Hell, you had Scotty Miller and you didn't use him.
That was an ultimate problem. We got rid of that problem.
And that's a problem. Like when you get a guy that runs a 4-3, got solid hands, and you know when he get the ball in his hands, you pretty much know that Scotty is a threat to take it anywhere on the field if you give him a lane.
I bet Patrick Mahomes would have used him.
Andy Reid, I'm gonna tell you this: Andy Reid probably would have had him in the end zone at least 20 times this year.
You give Andy Reid all the weapons we got on offense with Pat
Yeah,
Mahomes, they probably would have
yeah,
been under. They probably would have been undefeated.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And with a
but
defense like we
but that's the
have,
key thing. You can't afford to keep Pat Mahomes with the contract you're making and have him have weapons though. See, that's the key thing. You got to work with
but
that cap.
exactly.
the way his contract is structured, he got 10 years. You can push that money back probably another 3 to 4 years to create cap space. So
Hmm.
Yeah, but I'm not.
it ain't like they ain't got options.
No,
But
I'm not saying
Prince,
they can't bring in a few more weapons, but not like how we're loaded because we don't have the quarterback. We're not paying that quarterback. We're paying pennies on this guy in the third round
True.
compared to what this guy's making, $500 million contract for 10 years or whatever it is may be.
Hold up. We got 15 people. Now I got a question for the 15 people that's in the YouTube. Can y'all please like the video? Now we asked y'all at the
Hey
beginning.
man.
We ain't got no likes on this
Hey,
damn video, and y'all in here
hey,
cutting up with us. Y'all our relatives and y'all our Falcon cousins. Go ahead and hit that like button. We already know
hey,
y'all subscribe to us, but please, come on, man. Them
hey,
likes up for us, dog.
hey, if
We
y'all
gotta
hit,
come, as Eddie
Hey,
Griffin
hey,
lights
said
up.
on the Dave
hey,
Chappelle show. You got to come together like butt cheeks. Just
hey,
I'm clowning right now, y'all. Y'all got to forgive me, man.
if y'all,
All it is pushing the button. Push the
Yo,
if
button. Push
if
the
come on
y'all
button.
and
don't,
help us out with that, man. Because
hey,
we
check,
definitely love having y'all in here, man. But can
hey,
y'all please hit that like button for us? Y'all
hey,
already subscribed. The like button is the easiest thing to do. Just a thumbs up for you, for
There
your
we
family.
go.
hey,
There we go. I see a couple people hit that button.
hey,
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 Thank
look,
you,
check,
don't be.
thank you
hey,
kindly. Howdy, dude.
hey, check
Hey,
this out.
look,
If
appreciate
y'all,
you, everybody out there.
hey, check
Shout
this.
out.
If y'all don't get off y'all ass and hit that damn like button,
Hey, man, you can't be listen. You can't be talking to them like that.
I don't care. They've been in here for over an hour and almost 30 minutes, and you ain't hit the
Hey,
freaking like button yet.
hey, hold up. Now you know we can't talk to family like that. They don't owe us no money. Now if they owed us some money, that's different.
Get
Well,
them lights
hey,
up.
Prince.
if because we family, I can talk like that. Hit that like button.
Here you go with this.
So
Here
Prince,
you go with this
sorry.
bull.
So Prince, you did ask a question,
It's
right?
because we family. Cousin Pete. Come on, hit that like button, Cousin Pete.
God beat it.
Hey, what's
Hey, wait a
Chicago
minute.
at?
How you say cut?
Where's
How you say
Chicago?
cut? He say
Cousin Pete.
cousin. He said, "Can I get some? Can I get a plate of that food to go cutting Peter?" Yeah, go ahead. I got to get up in this shit. Yeah. If y'all remember Poetic Justice, that's what we got there from Cutting Peter. If you under 30 years old, you might not know about it. Go
Boy,
check it
you,
out. It's definitely
hey,
a classic.
boy, generation lacking on movies, man.
Yeah, man. We have
I'm
some great
telling you.
movies nowadays, man.
I'm telling you,
I just wish we had a great football team to go along with it.
Yeah.
that would be nice.
I ain't coming
We
for
got
no
one for
foolishness.
college.
And you
We
heard what
got
Bernie
one.
said. We ain't coming for foolishness. We need a team.
We got one
We
in
need somebody
college
to come in here that's about business.
for real.
Yeah, like
But
Coach said the other day, mediocre produces mediocre. So I mean,
exactly.
It's been over
Now
50, been over 50 years.
speaking of players, now the Falcons have also done this too, and I'm getting to it. This is one of our last things we're gonna talk about today. We ended up signing 13 reserve and future signings. Pretty much guys that are gonna be camp bodies and practice squad guys. Some guys might get lucky enough to get into the field. Hopefully, we don't have to see them unless they ballers from the start. But we've got, and I got the list right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and read this off. So some of you guys might know some of these names from some of these players. Wide receiver Chris Blair. You have defensive back Natron Brooks. You have Lucas Dennis, linebacker Milo Effler, defensive end Damone Harris, offensive tackle John Legault. Then you have Donovan Mutton at linebacker, defensive tackle Wellington Prevlin. That's he sounds like he's an Ivy League man.
Yeah, I know.
Um, Justin Schaefer, of course, former Georgia Bulldog. Then you got Ryan Swabata, and then you also have Tyler Vrabel. Ironically, Vrabel is still on this roster. If he gets cut and wherever his daddy is going, that's where he's going to be at, right?
mhm.
Fact.
Yeah.
But I don't even think we should get rid of Vrabel. I get rid of McGarry before I get rid of Vrabel. Vrabel actually has talent. And then you got running back out of Louisiana. What was that? Northeast Louisiana. Carlos Washington. That's when we said we called him Shorty Low 2.0. That was the running
Yeah,
back that was in the preseason.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And then you
yeah, I
got
remember.
offensive tackle Barry Wesley. Now, the one guy that we know can play, God forbid anything happens to any of these running backs, we know Carlos Washington can play. We all saw that. If you've ever seen his college footage, Carlos Washington happens to be a guy that came out of a small school that really didn't get a shot. Didn't really get a shot to play because hey, you got Algier here, you got Cordell Patterson here, and then you have Bijan Robinson. Now, if one of those guys go down or one of those guys get traded off, we might be able to see him. Now, I don't want to see him just yet because I still want to see CP run the ball. No lie.
Mm.
That's just me. And I think we didn't use CP enough.
I think CP gone. I've been saying that since the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
He
he
won't
might.
make it.
Yeah,
He
he
ain't gonna
might.
make it next season.
He might.
Hmm.
He might. He might. He might.
So you really don't believe he's gonna make it to another season?
Yeah, I think we just wasted money bringing him this year. What he really do for us this year? He really didn't
It,
do a whole lot.
it wasn't his
Yeah,
fault.
I mean,
It,
I understand it wasn't his fault, but I just feel like at his age, we move on from him and we got two stable, great young backs.
Hmm.
You know, and you got Shawty Low 2.0, whatever you want to call him, waiting in
Hey,
the wings.
and we just waiting for. And here's the thing: we're just really waiting for him to get his opportunity because I think once he gets his opportunity, he's gonna be one of those guys that explode onto the scene and boom. That's all I can say.
Yeah, he's one of those guys who's going to force your hand once he gets on the field because
And
one, his speed changes the game, and then number two, his vision is unparalleled because he sees holes that aren't there yet. He reminds me of Le'Veon Bell, but way faster. He's very patient, but once he sees that crease, or if you give him an inch, he's taking it. He's taking it to the house. He's one of those guys. So
Okay.
now
if
his running
he
style, I'm gonna give you this here. Now you spoke on speed and different things, and I'm a historian, so I got to go back a little bit for these folks here. If you ever look back at it, his running style would remind you it's a cross in between Gerald Riggs, former Falcon Gerald Riggs,
mm,
and because of the power and the speed. And then I got to go with old school running back, even though he played for the Bagheads back in the day and the Chargers. He started off with the Bagheads, but I felt I watched his film. He reminds me a bit of a younger Chuck Muncie. If you don't know who Chuck Muncie is, go
Chump
do your
Muncie.
research on him. That was a
Okay.
bad man.
Chump
Only running
Muncie.
back I know to
Okay.
play with doggone bifocals.
True.
Not goggles, bifocals.
Boy. Um,
Big, fast, and strong. But
Mm.
the thing that sucks is now you're having his spouse, like Shaka said, was just like it's crazy. Now, Shaka says Josh Cribbs. The difference is he ain't as fragile as Josh Cribbs.
yeah.
Cordell Patterson can take a hit.
yeah, but Josh Craig uncle got laid out by Ray Lewis quite a few times in that division.
It wasn't just Ray Lewis that got him. His
It was
his
everybody
old
got him.
teammate James Harrison
oh,
knocked him out.
he uncle got knocked out by Patrick
Yeah, how you
Willis.
forget about Debo knocking him out?
Yeah,
Man, please.
he uncle got knocked out by Patrick Willis.
Yeah, the CP situation remind me of the Thomas Day Cool situation.
Oh
It's
Lord,
eerily
don't
similar.
don't talk
It's
about that.
eerily no,
I'm
seriously,
still.
it's
I
eerily
got a headache
similar.
now.
Woo.
Hey,
Wow.
that migraine and switch the
What is
switch
it?
state.
What is it? What is it?
Tom
Migraine Thursday?
Thomas Deku, boy.
No,
Woo.
I'm just saying because CP 84 he had a small injury, right? And for
Yeah.
whatever reason, Arthur Smith decided not to use him this year. It's all and honestly, it reminds me of the Thomas Day Cool situation because the way that Miko was going off is the same way that CP 84's wife is going off. Because CP 84 he still has a lot to offer to this team. And again, I've said it before. I'm a proponent of having multiple backs because you're not putting so much wear and tear on your guys. You can prolong their careers. In the NFL, we all know that the general career span for a running back is 3 to 4 years. So, um, I just feel like he was definitely underutilized this year, and in the games that he played in, you can see the tandem of Tyler Algier and CP84. It wears on a lot of teams because you have two powerful backs that are going to continuously hit you, and hit you.
Right.
That's where Bijan comes in, and he gets to do all the cleanup work because they tired, they can't chase him. So I
Thank
mean,
you.
that's the guy you want to hold on to, and he wants to be here. So I mean, why not take a flyer on CP and see if we can get it for a team friendly deal, just to keep him here because he's one of those team leaders that you want to keep in the locker room.
You
I
definitely
just
a
think
team.
I think the position he played, his age, I just feel like we move on from. All the things you said was great, and you put it together real nice and neat. But no,
Artavius, I have nothing against Thomas Deku. I actually like Thomas Deku.
Ain't he coaching?
Yeah, I think he is. But my favorite, I'm gonna tell you this here, but the one corner I was mad that we got rid of was Brent Grimes. That's what I got
Yeah.
mad about when
Y'all,
we
the
got
whole
rid of him.
city was mad when we got rid of Brent Guy because he was the
Arthur
best.
Blank, you done
yeah, I
messed up
like
a
it.
few
Yeah,
times,
I
bro.
like the great Brian. I
He
like
was
the
Brent
the
Grimes was
he was the
You got
best.
rid of
dog.
a shutdown corner and Brent Grimes.
He was a
You
dog.
exactly.
Great dog.
And then and here's the other thing. You passed up on some of the legendary play. You passed up on a Reggie White type of player, Jalen Carter.
Mm.
All I'm saying is this, man. Arthur Blank, you better count your days, bro, because
Oh,
people
correction.
tired of you right now. I'm
Correction.
sorry.
Brent
People
Grimes was
tired of how
married
you've
to
been running this
Miko.
thing.
Brent
People
Grimes
are
was
tired of
married to
spending their
Miko, not
hard-earned
Thomas
Oh
money.
Deku.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what his wife got him
Correction.
up
So
out
that
of
was
here.
wrong on that. It was Brent Grimes that was married to Miko,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
Thomas Deku.
Thomas
I,
Deku was a safety. Yeah. Brent Grimes was the corner, baby. That was
okay.
that dude. Yeah.
Part of that safety patrol. Yeah.
Well, Brent wasn't much taller than me. He was short, but he could hit and he could cover.
And
And
Buddy
he
could
could jump
jump.
out. And he could jump out
Buddy
the
could
gym.
jump.
Exactly. But
Yeah, somebody said jump out the gym. He could jump out the
that was
gym.
Artavius trying. Look, that's Artavius trying to start stuff again.
Hey, that man.
Yeah,
That man was fearless.
Hey,
he
y'all
could
leave
jump
my
out the gym.
y'all leave my long lost cousin alone, man.
Your long lost cousin about as slow as you tonight.
Boy,
We see
Octavius,
that
It
now.
happens. It
Octavius
happens.
been on one, man. But I think
Octavius has been on one tonight. Now, see, this is the first time he done came out of the box like this.
but I still think Mike had the best one. 150 to 50, boy. That
He
right there
said
was
we
that.
need pits at
150.
150%.
You only give us 50.
Hey man, this is the joy. This is the joys of the BirdCage. Shout out to Scott Glover, our boy. Run it back, Turbo's big brother. Shout out to our guy Scott Glover. What's
Shout
happening?
out. What it
What's
is,
going
what it
on with your
do.
fam?
What's
Yeah,
up,
Artavius, I ain't
Turbo?
letting you slide today.
You gonna do
No, I'm gonna tell you this here. I've been sipping this good old apple cider right here. You ain't getting away from me today, dog. This is a day I can't let you slide. Last time I let you slide. Today I can't let you slide. That's my guy, though. I love Artavius, man. Shout out to Artavius Dixon, man. That's our partner, man. But speaking of some things, we actually got some things coming up next week for you guys. Special guests will be coming through, and we're gonna break down the Falcons season with this person. He's already been around. Not going to tell you who, but just know you got to tune in next week to see it. So, with everything else that's going on, man, I really look forward to what the organization is planning on doing. And let's hope that they don't screw this up, because even if they screw this up, man, it's still that logo is what I'm riding with, regardless of who they bring in.
I
Because there's
will
gonna be somebody that's not gonna be happy about what's being brought in.
say that this is probably gonna be one of the most important hires of Arthur Blank tenure as an owner.
Yep.
This right here, if he don't get this right this time,
It's pretty much he'll never win a Super Bowl if he don't get this right.
fact.
Because you
Yeah.
got all these first round picks that you took, there's offensive weapons, and you have a defense that this man has built you. If you can't get the right person in here to get this thing right, Arthur Blank, the only
Mm.
championship you're gonna go to your grave with is Atlanta United's championship
Oh,
and the NFC championship that you won. No
I'll buy a
disrespect to the
Marine Pop.
United, because we definitely rock with them too, because they held it down for the city, and they were the ones who broke the curse. They broke the curse, and then
Yeah.
Brave
we
won, then
started to
we
see
won.
the state of Georgia starting to influx championships again.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
with,
You gotta
with
give
I'll get a
shout out to
Marine
the
Pop.
that
United.
being said, man,
I'll get a Marine Pop. That's close to a ring
Yeah.
he gonna get from us.
hey man, you don't. Hey, depending on who he brings in, we'll never know.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is this: I'm not even thinking about the draft right now, because we got one of our Facebook users asking us about the draft.
Combine.
And Scott, we're not
We're
even
gonna
thinking
get
about
there.
that draft just yet.
We're gonna get there though.
We're gonna get there. Right now,
We
what
worry
we're
about the
thinking about
combine
at
at
this
this
point.
Everybody gonna be
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that
watching
wasn't him. That was Ravel. My bad. Ravel Johnson. Shout out to Ravel. Honestly, I don't know which way we go in the draft, Ravel. I honestly look at it like this: if depending on the type of coach that we get, we'll find out which way we're gonna go in that draft. Once we figure out who's gonna be a coach, we could pretty much figure out which direction they would go. So at this point,
still
we can't
early in the
even we
process.
haven't even done any mock drafts just yet.
No.
So we already said we're gonna wait till we get a head coach in here, and we can start doing mock drafts for everybody. And we'll figure this thing out, because we're gonna get through this here. Because
Yeah,
we rock.
we really got to look at free agency first. That's the first tipper. Before we can even really look at the draft, because once we fill out the roster, then we can start looking at how this team kind of wants to draft. But right now, you know what I'm saying, it's way too early to even look that far down the road.
Ain't the draft in Philly this year?
Yep.
Nah, I don't
not.
think it's in Philly. Hold up, I'll pull that up.
I thought it was in Philly this year.
Yeah, I thought it was
Actually, no, it is in Philly this year. My bad.
Yeah, because it's
where you at?
WrestleMania. That in WrestleMania.
Look, this might be the second time I get to go to a draft, because I went to the first one, but I was in the military at that time.
Okay. All right,
man. I ain't gonna even lie to you, man. With the way that the streets are in Philly right now, I don't even want to be in the midst of that mess.
Right.
Actually, no, the draft is not in Philly this year. The draft is gonna be in Detroit, sir.
Okay, in Detroit.
Boulder City.
Boulder City.
Y'all better stay home. They might not.
Hey.
If anybody's been to Detroit, you pretty much have seen it. They revamped that area where all the sports arenas are. They really, gentrification really has changed a lot, but Detroit is still Detroit. If y'all have ever been there, it's still Detroit.
Yes, Lord.
But
better be careful.
No, there's no knock on that or whatever, because my best friend, my partner from Detroit, my boy Rick, shout out to my boy Rick. He's enjoying the Michigan Wolverines national championship. And the best part about this is, now look,
we
might get Harbaugh if Harbaugh leaves. Who knows?
Yeah.
Just think about this. If you get Jim Harbaugh in Atlanta, you're guaranteed to score points.
Finally.
You're guaranteed to score points. And if you look at it, we're the only NFL team that run, like, every team runs the pistol, but Jim Harbaugh was doing that everywhere he went. And he runs out of the pistol pretty much 75% of the time. So the offense that we run right now is pretty much his offense. The difference is he gets you a quarterback that can throw. So if we were to get Harbaugh, if he leaves, I'm telling you the truth. I pray he leaves Michigan and he comes to the NFL and he chooses Atlanta.
Harbaugh and Ben Johnson, that combination?
Oh, I'll take that.
Ben Johnson ain't leaving Detroit as an OC, and he got it cooking right now.
Yeah, he ain't gonna leave.
He ain't gonna leave Detroit. Now, I think we could probably get Eric Bieniemy to lead Washington, because it's a dumpster fire right now, unless he becomes a head coach.
Hey, that's the combination that'll work too. Bieniemy with Harbaugh. That would be disgusting.
And all I'm gonna say is this: like, how did the old quote go from the old guy that was in the bar? Come one, come all, I'll lick every son of a bitch in this place. You get them two here, you're not gonna shut me up. You can't shut me up now to be even worse. We get Bieniemy and Harbaugh with that defense.
Yeah, it's going down.
I might get in a couple of fist fights up here in Philly with some folks talking trash.
Don't do it.
Oh Lord,
I got your bail money. Let me
stop clowning, man. Shout out to my people in Philly. Shout out to Marvin Scarborough. Tamika Scarborough, you know, my lady. But shout out to Marvin Scarborough and family, Miss Khalees McNeil. You know, them is my Philly people up here, man. I got love for them. You know, they definitely support the show, and they've definitely been through some times with me. But man, that's my
Yeah.
other family right there. I always talk about my family, but I got to talk a little bit about my extended family, just like I talk about you guys. So
Oh yeah. We've been through some stuff with you too.
yes, sir. Oh yeah,
Indeed. And
and look, and we ain't done yet.
Yeah.
But
We steady coming through.
yeah, we steady coming through. But I say this here. But for tonight, we are done. There's no more. We done
oh,
ran through the topics. We done ran through some laughs. We gonna see you next Thursday at 8 o'clock. You know, we just, you can come back here, but we don't want Bill Bellichek coming here. We want something new. You know, we want two things that match. You know, like my man Chris Tucker say, just
Y'all ain't never got two things that match.
let's get us an offensive coordinator and a head coach that match with this here, so we can
Yeah.
stop having two things that don't match.
with a
Man,
quarterback coach on the side.
please
Yeah.
give us a damn good quarterback, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
but without further ado, y'all have a good night. We love you, and we'll see you next week. We out of here.
Peace.